Can you tell us why you don't like the biggest monotheist Muslims? I never said I don't like the Muslims. In fact, I have several friends and even some people that watch my lectures that are Muslims. I don't have a problem with the Muslims per se, but that does not change my knowledge of what I know about the Quran and what I know about some of their leaders. Some of the leaders are bad people, they lead to terrorism. Some of them are decent people, like any other place of leadership, including Judaism. But as far as their Quran is an anti-Semitic, anti-Torah, false man-made document. And I know that because I looked into it. And you can clearly see that it has human errors in it that show that it's not a divine document, it's not by a prophet, it's by a fool. So the problem is that most Muslims don't actually study enough of the truth in order to identify falsehood. So what ends up happening is that they believe whatever their imam says, whatever their leader says, and they take whatever he says as if it's the word of God. So the reason why I have some people that were born Muslim and ended up converting to Judaism, or some of them became righteous Noahides, is because they learn what from my lectures, and then they double check what I say versus what it says in the Quran versus what it says in the Torah, and they see that what we say stands the test of the test. The problem is that when a person does not understand the falsehood that's in the Quran, they're going to believe in it. And I've said this these places where you can see that it's the Quran is man-made falsehood. For example, the Quran says that Paro and Haman were friends. Paro preceded Haman by over 1,000 years, but yet the Quran says they were friends. Or they say that Miriam, the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu, was the mother of Jesus. Miriam died in the desert and preceded the mother of Jesus by 1,500 years. So there's all types of mistakes in the Quran that show you that whoever wrote it was not only foolish, but they were literally ignorant of how to copy something. Because whatever is true that's in the Quran, they plagiarize from the Torah, and the rest of it is man-made falsehood, and you can see it. I mean, to go and think that Miriam, the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu, is the mother of Jesus that lived 1,500 years later, and it clearly says in the Torah that Miriam died in the desert. I mean, this is pure stupidity to believe that. So why do Muslims believe that? Because they don't know what the truth says. They only have their versions because they're not taught the Torah. They're taught what their imams say. The imam says this is what happened, so the average Muslim guy says, yeah, sure, that's what it says, that's what it says. But once a person actually investigates, they'll find out that there's endless amount of errors in the Quran, endless amount of perversion in it, endless amount of illogical things. And I actually even have a couple of lectures where I spoke about it. Their rules against women, their permission to rape, all types of horrible things that are in the Quran. And so you want to believe it, by all means, be my guest. That's your choice. That's your choice. But I would recommend that you watch the lectures that I speak about it, and I mention specific verses in the Quran, and you can go check what I say, and you'll see exactly what I say. I didn't make it up. I don't have any stock in this. I don't care if you believe this or you believe that. I hope that everybody that serves the one and only God in the way that He said it. But if you choose not to, you choose not to. The point is that if you check the things that I said, you'll see that I'm not lying. I'm not making it up. I actually even have a couple of students that consider themselves, again, I don't know what other people consider themselves scholars, if you will, in Islam. And after they check the things that I've said, they abandon Islam, they abandon the Quran like it's the plague. So, in a world we have today, it's very easy to double check what people say. Especially in my case, where I provide sources. Specific verses in the Quran where these mistakes are, or specific things that are easy to find. So, you could simply check and you'll see.